Welcome to the Momsbeingmomspodcast, where we swap our weekly mom moments, wins, and fails, then cover stories of moms being moms. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm Jessica.
I'm Sam.
I'm Whitney.
And
let's mom it out.
All right, so I have a mom win this week, and it is I read a book. I think I already mentioned, my 2026 bingo board, and on it I have to read 12 books this year. I read not a lot of books last year, so I'm doing like one a month is the goal, and I've done 4. So, and this book that I'm going to talk about is one of them. So this book that I'll talk about, and then I did, I think it was called Birth of Venus.
Sounds deep.
It was an interesting read. It was like, I'm pretty sure a yard sale pickup that I just had I'm trying to clean out my bookshelf, so I was like, gotta read this one. And then I read Midnight of Good and Evil. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. It's a very popular book, and I'm probably butchering the title. It's also a movie, too. So I reread that, and then my third book is my kids are really into Gravity Falls. Do you know that show? Mm-hmm. Have you heard it?
I've seen it. I don't think we watched it.
Oh, we love that book. It's about, like, just weird things, so of course my daughter loves it and I love it, and we got her the book for Christmas, and it's like a pretty solid book, and I read that. Counts.
Reading level questionable.
There's some big words in there.
All right, so my I won't say like mom win, it'd be more of like an aunt win, because it's about my niece. Whitney's daughter, actually, if we're gonna say which niece it was.
Call her out.
But she slept over my house for her, because that's what she wanted to do on her birthday. I just also feel like that's a very big win, because she chose to sleep over at my house.
Sweet. I don't know if it was her house or her son's house, but whatever.
But she wanted to stay at my house. Anyways, my husband, we were sitting there at the table eating lunch, and Wyatt was talking about his trail cameras, because he puts them up, obviously, to see what's in the woods when he goes hunting. He's a very avid hunter. And her daughter was like, oh, yeah, well, we have those at our house, too. And Wyatt was like, yeah, but these get sent straight to my phone as soon as they take the picture. And I quote from my niece, she goes, wow, Unc, you rich.
You rich.
You got that good.
All because of the trail cameras that we have set up. I said, wow, Paige, your standards are low. We need to raise those.
No, don't. Keep that bar low.
Yeah. How do I set that bar low in my house but make her have better expectations for when she leaves? I don't want to live like I used to.
Right.
Like, I need her not to marry the first bum on the street. So.
Well, if he has a tram camera that can do that, it's over.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, that's my second child, and that's who my story is about, too. Because she will probably be most of my win-fail stories. That personality on that one. I will say here that she is ADHD, ADD. She's 100%. I won't take her to be diagnosed. We will work through it, but there's no way around it. And we were at T-ball. She's in T-ball for the first time this year. Again, second child hasn't been signed up for any sports until now because we too busy running her brother around. And so she, number one, bat left-handed, but she's right-handed, so there's that.
Solid.
But when she made it to first base, she took off her helmet, she put her helmet on the base, and she sat on it and was chatting up the first baseman.
Luckily, this was at practice because I was there. I witnessed this happen.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I just couldn't even
All done.
believe my eyes.
I did the T-ball.
And then she didn't understand what I was asking of her because I went down that baseline so quick. Get your helmet on your head and pay attention. But nope, she came off the bag. Like, what? What do you want? What am I doing wrong?
To be fair, though, both her daughter and my son, they're on the same T-ball. team, they both told their coach that when was asked, do you throw with your right or your left hand? And they both said left hand.
Really?
And I think he even phrased it, which hand do you throw with? And they both held up their left hand.
I was like, you know you throw with your right hand and that you're right-handed. But they both did it. So we both had to yell at the coach.
You're doing it wrong.
He's right-handed. And they're like, he told me he was left. I was like, he's 5.
Yeah, don't trust
Damn
him.
Anywho.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like your daughter's gonna generate a lot of content for us.
100%.
She cracks me. Like, I'll never, like, when she was learning her colors and just straight up refused to learn her colers, and I'd hold things up. She wouldn't even look at it. She'd be like, it's pink. And I'm like, you're not looking. It's purple. And I'm like, girl. Child. Look at the thing I'm holding.
She's like, whatever to get this over with.
Yeah. It's gotta be one of those.
To do.
She will be absolutely fine in life. I am 100% sure of that.
Yes.
But
yes.
getting her through school will be such a challenge. She is in kindergarten, and my oldest kid was reading by the time he got to kindergarten. This kid, if we can get her through her alphabet, we are having a good day.
Good day. Yeah.
But she knows it. Anyway,
Yep.
I could go on for middle children.
It's funny. All right. Okay. Let's get into our story. And it's going to be a long one. And I'm going to say first a shout out to the podcast Mysterious Mavens. They are a true crime podcast. And they covered this story. And it actually inspired this podcast. So shout out to them. Also, I asked them some podcast questions. And they responded very quickly and with helpful tips. So thank you so much to you guys. If you guys listen to true crime podcasts, definitely check them out, Mysterious Mavens. With that said, yes, this is a true crime story, but it's like mild. I will like give you guys a heads up when we get to a true crimey part, and you can skip the 15 or 30 seconds, but this story is amazing, so please hang in there. And there are a lot of articles about this woman, but in my research, I found there's actually a book. So that is my source of truth for all this. The book is called Fear is Just a Word by Azam Ahmed. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, definitely check it out. A great book. So, with all that said, have you guys heard of Miriam Elizabeth Rodriguez Martínez?
No, I cannot say I have.
It's a lot of names coming at you.
I would not have remembered.
All
Maybe
right.
after the story,
You
I'll
will
remember.
after this. Well, let's give this mom her moment. So Miriam was born February 5th in 1960 in San Fernando, Mexico. She is the mother to 4. She was the baby of the family with 8 older siblings. She met Luis Rodríguez in high school, and it was kind of a fling. He was a few years older, so he takes off to the U.S. for work. San Fernando is pretty close-ish to the border. He goes to the U.S. for work. She finds out she's pregnant. And that's a big no-no at the time in Mexico at her age. Unwed, I should specifically said. Her parents disown her, and she actually goes to live with one of her sisters. And she has no plans on telling Louise. She's kind of like... That's a constant theme with her. She's like, I got this. It's fine. She's like super strong, very hard-headed. Reminds me of my sister. But when she has the baby, her parents are like, oh, baby. And they welcome her back. Her first daughter's name is Azalea, which I think is so pretty. So word gets back to Luis about the baby. And it's definitely his because it's blonde hair and these like really pretty eyes, and he's like the only one in town that looks like that. So like it tracked. So he comes back, he does the right thing, quote unquote, and they get married. He actually goes back to the United States. Miriam stays behind, and she gets a really good job with the government. Eventually, Luis gets deported. He moves in with them, and they all go on to have 3 more children. Luis, Karen, and they actually had another baby boy. They didn't have the name in the book. He passed away really young due to a vaccine reaction. It's really sad, but... So Luis opens his own store. Miriam eventually leaves government and opens her own store as well. And they're doing really good. They, like, move up to middle class. They get, like, this nice house. But while they're doing good, their relationship kind of sucks. It's not really built on the best of foundations. Karen was their baby, and the other kids were kind of in high school at this time, so she kind of, like, helped keep the relationship together a little bit. But they do eventually get divorced when the kids are adults. So while their relationship is deteriorating, so is Mexico. This is when the war of drugs is going on, and in the book, it does, like, a really great job of talking about it. It was really interesting. But specifically in San Fernando, a militarized offshoot of the Gulf cartel called the Zeta cartel literally just rolled into town and basically took over. Like, it was bad. It was pretty bad. And one of their favorite things to do was to kidnap for ransom. That brings us to January 23rd, 2014. 20-year-old Karen was driving through town when 2 trucks pulled up beside her and kidnapped her. Miriam and her family get the call about a ransom. And they followed the instructions. This part is so messed up to me. They actually took out a loan. They have these specific loans for people who get kidnapped to pay ransoms. Like, there's
in Mexico?
Business line for it. Yeah, it was probably in other places too. But I was just like, holy crap, that's crazy. That they're like, oh, you need a loan? Sure, come on back to our kidnap ransom division. It's so sad.
Who's making a living off of that?
I know. You gotta feel like crap. Like, I hope those are like 0% interest loans. Right. Well, they pay the loan, and of course they get the runaround. Like, oh yeah, we'll give her back to you. Oh wait, we need like a little bit more money. They pay that. And eventually they just like stop hearing from them. At this point, Miriam's like, this is not good. She eventually just like meets a cartel member. Like, they're just hanging around town. She meets one, and he says, I don't know where Karen is. I wasn't a part of it, but for a small fee, I can help find her. Okay? So
business inside of business.
Right. She pays the fee. Of course, that leads nowhere, but she learns his name. Sama. We'll go with Sama. So with this just little name, just his name, it's not even his real name. It's just like a code name. She is like, okay, I have my first clue. The police aren't doing anything. Mm-hmm. She's like, I gotta do this. She told her oldest daughter, Azalea, that she believed that Karen was dead, but she would not rest until she hunted down her kidnappers. So she does some hardcore Facebook stalking.
Facebook for the win.
Yes. Solid stuff. And she finds a picture of him on Facebook. And she finds his profile, and she notices he's like constantly in pictures with this one girl who occasionally is wearing an ice cream store uniform. Okay? So he's dating a girl that works in an ice cream store. And there's not just one ice cream store, it's like a franchise, a chain. So she starts just stalking these stores, okay? She finds him, and she follows him to his neighborhood, okay? But again, remember, this isn't his real name. So like, okay, dude's a cartel member, he lives here, but I need his name. So she worked for the government, right? She put on her old government uniform, had her government ID. She dyes her hair red. She goes around the neighborhood conducting a poll, like figuring out who lives here, what are their birth dates, what do they do for a living. She goes to his house, and I don't know if it was his parents' house or something. They answer all the questions, no big deal. So she finally, like, gets all this information on him and goes to the police and's like, here, arrest him. So, like, she did all the work for the police officers. Right. When she pulled her files onto the table, I had never seen anything like it, the anonymous police commander told the New York Times. The details and information gathered by this woman, working all alone, were incredible. So, yeah, she had enough information that they actually issued a police warrant and got him arrested.
Oh my god.
I have so
Hire
many
her.
questions.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh god, I had so many questions. So he actually escapes the first time because, as we will see, many times, the police can't do their jobs in this country.
Because half of them are
yes.
being paid. Okay.
Yeah. And they actually do detain him. Miriam's older son, Luis, lived in Ciudad Victoria. He spots him in a crowd and follows him, calls the police, and the police are able to get him in there. So, like, her son's now, like, part of this, too. Like, so they get him.
What are the chances, though, that he spots him in a crowd? Like, meant to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just...
And it's in, like, a big city. Like,
right.
So, crazy chance. So, they get him. He starts talking, because all of these people are kind of just kids, really. Like teenagers, for the most part. He gives them some names. That leads to other arrests, which Karen is a part of, because, again, they can't do their jobs. They're like, oh, well, it must be this person, don't know who that is. And she's like, give me a second, I'll figure it out. So they get somebody else's name, and someone talks a lot more, and he says, yes, I know where she is, and I will take you there. So... They go to this ranch, and this is where kind of the true crimey part happens. He takes them there, points to the ground. She's right here. They do dig that spot up, and there's a lot of remains in there. They do find 3 of her ribs and her finger bones. So they do determine that she was there. And before they even did that part, Miriam had actually been to that same ranch just a few months earlier. She was just driving around town, and she finds 2 girls with Karen's laptop. She calls her contacts within the government, and she gets the Marines involved. The Marines come by and scoop those girls up, because there's not a lot of rules going on there. And the girls, tell them where to go. They lead them to this ranch. A shootout actually occurs, and 6 of the cartel members that were there met justice the old-fashioned way. They did not make it out. The Marines let Miriam come with them in disguise. She was there the whole time. She's in the back of the truck. They put her in all the gear, and she was there, and then when she saw everything happen, and then when they were at the ranch, they were walking around, she found Karen's scarf and cushion from her truck. So she knew Karen had been there, and now it was, confirmed. She never left there.
Mm-hmm. She is Liam Neeson in real life.
Seriously,
yes,
that's what I was, thinking of.
This is Taken, but with a mom with no special skills. It's incredible. And, okay, so the story doesn't end there, because she hasn't found everybody. So she keeps investigating. She told us that she was incomplete, that although she had found her daughter, nothing would ever return to normal for her, a friend of Miriam's told the BBC. In all, she would hunt down 10 cartel members who played a role in her daughter's kidnapping. She, in all of them, basically led the searches. She would find them, get all the information on them. She would stake places out, call police when she was like, they're here, come on. Police would come on. She led them on foot chases, tackling people. She's a
volunteer police force.
Older lady.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane. They even let her, because she knew so much about the people and about the situation, they let her do the questioning. She would be in the room asking the questions because she knew the case better than the police. And then she would walk out when they had to basically torture people. There wasn't a lot of rights down there. And then she'd come back in and be like, so, back to my questions.
Ready to talk?
Oh my gosh, she was all in it. It was crazy. And she did not hold back. One of the members had attempted to start over as a born-again Christian, and she didn't care. They arrested him, in a chapel, and, everyone was like, what are you doing? That's our pastor. And she was like, where was his compassion when they killed my daughter? I mean, that would shut me up pretty fast. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess you should probably take him. So not only is she investigating and basically taking down this cartel one by one, she led a collective for others who had fathers, brothers, or sons kidnapped. So I guess in Mexico, they have this like victims benefit that if something happens to your loved one, the government's basically, sorry, we kind of let this happen. Here's some money to make you feel better is really what it is.
Between the loans and this funding.
Yeah, it was just pretty... Okay. But, it was weird. I was listening to an episode of something the other day, and I think Australia has something similar, like a victims benefits fund, that if your, like, family is, like, a victim and something, you actually can get some money. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But, yeah, in Mexico, it's kind of like I'm sorry, I'm bad, here's some money. But, like, it was, like, so red tape, it was so hard to do anything. And so Miriam knew the, like, process inside and out. So she literally was helping people file missing people reports, claim their compensation. And she was, like I said, very headstrong. She, like, had no problem, like, walking into buildings and being like, you denied this person, why? You shouldn't have, like yelling at people. She was very passionate. So she was making waves with the cartel, but she was also making waves within the government. She was like all over the place. She was like a force to be reckoned with. It was crazy. Of course, with that, her family's like, okay, like you found a lot of people. You're gonna stop now, right? And she's like, nah, I don't care if they kill me. I died the day they killed my daughter. I want this to end. I'm going to take out the people who hurt my daughter, and they can do whatever they want to me.
My biggest fear is they would come for the rest of my family.
Right.
My living children.
Yes. Especially because she's a grandmother. She had at least one grandchild. So,
right.
And I will say in the book, they're kidnapping everybody. They tried to kidnap her son-in-law and her grandson. So it's like they're kidnapping people left and right. So I guess, that's another way to look at it. It's like, well, they're already going after us. What more could they do?
Right.
Well, they could do more in March. Oh, no. Lost my spot. In March 2017, inmates dug a tunnel and escaped from a penitentiary. And this specific penitentiary is where they housed the Zeta cartel members, because they had to keep them separate from the Goth cartel members, because that's bad news.
What was the worst that's going to happen? They were going to kill each other?
I know, I was like, it seems like that seems the best case scenario.
What do you mean?
Just like don't put guards in there and see what happens.
That's just taking care of the problem. I don't understand that one.
So Miriam, of course, asked for police protection, and police would claim that they sent patrols, but in the book, they definitely talk about it. She basically got nothing. She got no protection. And on May 10th, when Mexico celebrates Mother's Day, they finally caught up to her. She was 57 years old at the time, and she was on crutches. She had recently broken her foot chasing after a suspect.
I knew you were going to say that.
Isn't that insane? And this is so sad.
57?
57.
Chasing suspects.
Chasing suspects. And not
I want to be doing that.
People her own age. There was 20-years. Just taking down 20-years, just tackling them. Yeah. Men and women. There were women involved too in this, which is...
Of course.
Yeah.
How's she going to live?
A white Nissan driven by some of the escaped inmates pulled up in front of her house, and they actually shot her in the back.
Oh, cowards.
So fucked up.
I mean, I agree.
No cursing, but...
No, we said cursing. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's no promises. It is so bad. And it was 9 or 11 or 12 times, I think.
Goodness.
Yeah, they really... Man, it was ridiculous. Her husband... Well, they were not married, but they were kind of still living together. The whole abduction brought them together, and they worked as a partnership, basically. He was...
Point, you're in it together.
Yeah, they're in it. They were... He comes out, finds her in the driveway. The police took forever to get there, of course, and her hand was in her purse where she kept her pistol. So she was about to fight back. She was crazy. She ended up, of course, not making it. The government did arrest 2 of those individuals. A third was justice the old-fashioned way in a gunfight. her collective kind of collapsed after this point. Like, her son tried to take it on, but he didn't live in the town, and it wasn't, like, his battle, his fight.
Yeah.
Like, he tried his best, but other collectives sprung up, so it wasn't like people were without resources. But yeah, so tragically, her story is hardly unique. The BBC reports that approximately 100,000 people have disappeared in Mexico since 2007, when the war on drugs started, and the percentage of unsolved homicides had reached 95%.
Wow.
So what anyone was doing...
And that's just what's accounted for. That's just what's on the record.
They were finding remains, but unable to identify them, or, like, they were able to, like, kind of identify parts. It's a mess. It was a mess down there. It was so sad. I honestly don't know how much better it's gotten, but
yeah,
at least there's collectives like Miriam's that she started and inspired others to start, that's helping those individuals.
Vigilantes.
Yeah. And, thanks to Miriam, Karen does not fall into that unsolved statistic. What a mom.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Isn't it crazy? It's crazy. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't get over that it's, like, a true story. She was, like, actually doing this stuff.
Right. I just want to know, like, I know you said, like, they kind of, like, didn't have the best, like, marriage and relationship. It's
Yeah.
Like, what was he thinking? Like, was he like, yeah, go ahead, go do the foot shoots and...
Basically, I mean, I think that's just, like, her personality. She, like, was very domineering, and she was like, I'm just gonna go do this. And, like, even her daughter and son were like, okay, you went on a raid. That was good, right? She was like, well, we didn't find her. We gotta keep looking. Right. And they're like, okay, well, now we had the burial. Like, we had the thing. We're good now, right? And she's like, well, no. Like...
Was she, like, an adrenaline junkie?
I think she was just so lost without her daughter. Like, it was just like, gotta keep going. Like,
that's all it was.
Yeah, that's all it takes, yeah.
You need a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
And her daughter at the time was 20. She was, like, living with her, kind of, and it was her baby. The other two are grown up. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like the last one, and then that happens, and you don't really have a marriage, so yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know, you need a purpose to get out of bed when you lose a kid, so.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But... And then she was helping other people
be
reunited or get answers.
Yes, which was fantastic. I don't think I had heard about that. I didn't remember that part. I was like, oh my gosh, she was, like, doing so much while also going undercover.
Yeah. It's just the fact that it was allowed. It's just
I know.
That wouldn't have even been a story in the U.S. Unless you were doing things so under the radar, because she would have been...
Yeah.
It would have been an arrest if just for impersonating a...
Oh, yeah, government employee, the first thing she did. Yeah, no, or interfering with a investigation. No, this would not fly in the United States. Though my husband does. He watches a lot, I feel like, of movies that I hate watching that are like a child, something happens to the child, and then the dad has to go on this mission to do the thing. Yep. And I'm like, I can't watch those. But in his mind, he's like, I'd do that. I'd find them.
I'm married to your brother, he would, in fact.
I'm like, well, we have other kids. Kind of need your income. Like, it's going to be hard. We can all process this grief together. But we don't need to go vigilante style and get yourself in jail. Doesn't help us.
Yeah. So. We have that exact same conversation. And, Will does not see that side of the coin. Like, we will still be here existing.
Right.
We will...
We're here. You
can't just die or go to jail. That's not helpful to the situation.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
But at the same time, we're already broken. Go ahead.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess if I was older and it's like, that's fine. And that was her attitude. And I mean, it kind of panned out. A lot of people got justice. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sad to say, but I can't say I'm surprised at her. The way her story ended.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't start taking down people like that, especially members, like it was low members, and then I feel like it was starting to get higher, and they were like, not cool. And they themselves were kind of losing power in the area, anyways. So yeah, like to do it though, of course there was like major outrage. Everyone knew her stories. So for that to happen, and of course the police department was under scrutiny because they were like, where were you all? Yeah. Oh man, it's so, just the book. Again, highly recommend the book. Fear is Just a Word. Goes into the history of Mexico and the war on drugs. It was very interesting stuff.
I'm actually going to add it to my TBR right now.
Would you like it into my hands?
I listen to books. I read them.
All right. Well, that's our story. Again, a great story. What kind of inspired me to want to start a podcast about this? Because moms do amazing things and we don't get any credit to begin with. So just a little.
We're just expected.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like we're just expected.
100%. Jump through hoops and you get minimal, you're the worst mom ever at the end of the day.
Yeah. We'll celebrate and laugh at ourselves then.
Yes, that's right. We're all here to celebrate each other. We don't need our kids.
We'll judge you too, but at the same time, you're judging yourself. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I will post some pictures and our sources on the @momsbeingmomspodcast on Instagram. We have a Gmail, momsbeingmomspodcast@gmail.com. Please send us suggestions, thoughts. Please follow, subscribe, rate, review. Nice ones, I should say, nice ones. If you don't like what you're hearing, just stop listening. I don't I don't know.
Us
yeah,
so we can improve.
I don't know why people find the need to bad review.
Right, constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, we're trying to figure out the audio. We're trying to figure out our transitions. God, give us a second.
Right, but if this isn't for you, just move on.
Just stop. If you're not a mom and listening, it's great, but if you're this content's awful, well, don't listen. It's not really for you.
Podcasts.
So silly.
Yeah.
And a little teaser, we're gonna maybe get into TikTok. I am an old millennial. I don't do TikTok, but Sam is younger than me.
Not by much.
Not by much, but enough. She's gonna explore the TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, look for that. Look for that one day. All right. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Sounds good. Until next time, mom's out.